What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol RKLB for Rocket Lab. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, we have the 30-minute intraday time frame. This was the result of a SPAC merger. The old ticker was essentially VACQ, and now we're left with this for Rocket Lab. That does mean if we look at the trade tab, we have options available to trade. Again, if you just look at the volume and open interest on the put side, kind of anemic, so not something I would really encourage you to trade to the short side, and obviously there are no short shares to short either, so not looking like there's possibility for downside plays, rather just avoiding longs if that's what ends up happening with this analysis. So the first thing I always like mapping out is basically the opening print, if you will, of the new ticker, and of course the low that was put in. You can see there's kind of a floor around 10. All things considered, we did make a significant move to the upside today, crossed above that sort of opening print here, and did actually close above it from a nuanced perspective. The last thing I'll point out from the daily is also that we have an increase in volume on today's session. Now moving over to the 30-minute intraday time frame, just to look at this through the lens of the Fibonacci tools, as we usually do. If we go from the low of today, where was that? As you can see, 930 was essentially the low. Here we go. And all the way on up to the high, there was essentially no pullback prior to that. You can see that the 38.2 is actually underneath that opening print that we mapped out, close to $11.60. So to me, this has some wiggle room to pull back to around 1140 and still remain in a, very bullish and optimistic stance. So for me, again, mapping this one out as well with a regular price level, and then we'll take off those Fibonacci's, clean this chart up a bit. So the optimistic outlook here would be consolidation, obviously above that 1160 mark, looking for the breakout into blue skies up and over today's high at $12.27. If it breaks that 1160, not the end of the world. The next place you would really want to see support hold is at $11.40. That would be the second most bullish outlook, something that would look like that. Still looking for the breakout or some sort of pattern to be put in for a break up and over the all-time high, essentially. And then if that breaks, this is where you have to exercise some patience. Again, you're probably not going to short this. You want to be very patient and see where the next structural element builds out. If we just scrunch this chart up, I would argue maybe there's a support down here around $10.51, just based on prior structure being resistant, sort of choppy around here. So again, a break could put into play a move all the way down to here, in which case you're starting to look for hammers, you're starting to look for indecision dojis, basically anything that would make you question, is this pullback starting to end? Can we flip long over the highs and get back up and into some of the targets which we've outlined from today's video? So those are my thoughts here with a relatively new or company that doesn't have a lot of trade history. Please exercise caution. I would usually advise that you size down and manage your risk through that lens as well. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything new, let me know in the comment section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.